Trust in two directions. I had no hope. We never follow instinct. We just don't understand a different situation. We've lost your land. My heart's in limbo. Your heart's in limbo. With everybody else, I think that you should learn to love yourself. The man that you love most, the man that brought you here, always in your memory, he's always near. My heart's in limbo. Your heart's in limbo.
Happy 2026 to everyone here, and welcome to the Willie Bragg Show. How are y'all doing today? I'm doing okay. I'm doing an early live stream because I was going to do one last night, and I overslept. It is as simple as that. I was really tired yesterday. I didn't go to sleep till about 3 in the afternoon, 4 in the afternoon, or something like that. And I was like, oh my God, I got a live stream to do. Then I got to go to work. And then when I woke up, it was about time to do the live stream. And I didn't have any time to shit, shave, and shower, let alone grab me something to eat. So it's just like, well, okay, I guess I'll be doing the live stream tomorrow. And I thought about doing it tomorrow evening. I was like, nah. I thought about it last night. I was like, I'm having a good night here at work. I got some errands I have to run in the morning. If I'm not too tired, I said this to myself this morning. I was like, 5 o'clock this morning. I was like, if I'm not too tired, I might just do the live stream, around 11 o'clock or something like that. It was not quite 11, but yeah, close enough. I was having my Philly cheesesteak this morning without the bread because I'm trying to get below 200 pounds by February 1st. That's what I'm trying to do. And before we get started, I will say this. When you're on Ozempic, or if you're on Wegovy, or if you're on Zepbound, or whatever else, weight loss medication, that shit works, but it works to a point. You will lose 20, 30, 40 pounds, but you will plateau. And I excused the holidays. I said, well, maybe the holidays, that might be part of it. But then I saw a YouTube video and I was like, well, I just realized I still eat a little bit too much carbs. So even though I'm not diabetic, I got to eat like I'm diabetic if I want to lose the weight for the time being anyway. So I have to go and then start, cutting out breads and getting substitute and gluten-free shit and all that sort of thing. And I'm like, holy crap. If I ever become this way, it's going to complicate the fuck out of my life. No, so instead of getting coffee in the morning, because I won't drink black coffee. I just will not drink black coffee. I know that's probably racist, but no. Bridgette Bardot apparently wants to racist, but no, I won't drink black coffee. All kidding aside, I will not drink black coffee. I just can't. So if I can have coffee with my cream, I will substitute with tea. So hot tea in the morning with lots of aspartame. Yeah. My sweetener choice is equal. I'm sorry. That's what I use because it tastes sweeter than sugar. I like it better than Sweet and Low, Stevia, on all the other brands that competes. Equal is my favorite because, as I said, it just tastes sweeter than sugar. I prefer sugar these days. Yeah, even when I'm a big fat slob, I will still put equal in most things that I'll eat. So anyhow, I'm ranting on and on and on. So I don't have any New Year's resolutions, except not to make any New Year's resolutions. The closest thing I had to a New Year's resolutions, I guess, her name is Tired Peasants on Twitter. And she asked if any of us have any plans for the year 2026. And I basically said, yeah, I plan to double down and annoy the fuck out of right-wing MAGA creeps and corporate Democrats. In other words, I'm just going to be the same old asshole I've always been. That's basically it. So, the Trumpsters and people who love Hillary Clinton and Chuck Schumer, and people like that. I mean, they're my fucking enemy. They're still my enemy. So I'm just going to be my true self, a fucking asshole. So I wish, Warren, I almost quoted you by accident. I said, yeah, don't you say, I wish this was whiskey? I said, I was thinking, I was going to say, I wish this was wine, but this is just tea. So unfortunate. Well, I like tea, but it's not Long Island iced tea. So, oh well. Bottoms up either way. let's talk about Bridgette Bardot. I think that's what we need to talk about. But before we do, let's greet everybody this year. So I don't want to ignore anybody. I love all you guys. So CBC voter, I'm going to nap. I will probably nap when I'm done with this video. See you soon. Oh, and that was from last night, or yesterday evening. And Warren says, Happy New Year. And I say, Happy New Year right back at you, sir. And Max Sarjay says, The Willie Bragg Show. And the Willie Bragg Show says, Max Sarjay. And I got a pop-up over here on the side. I'll take care of that. All right. Let's see. We have Kamashari Kate. How are you doing today? And she says, Willie, are you just now starting the live stream? I'm doing it early this morning. I used to have a flip-flop time. It's like whenever I do it is whenever I do it. That's usually how I kind of done it, but this time it's just a one-time thing. I'm just, I try not to do it like that. I try to be consistent, but I just don't want to go to sleep and then wake up and not do a live stream. And plus it's Thursday, and I like to watch a Revolutionary Change with Jen Perlman and Pete Hager. They've been doing pretty good work. Their channel has grown exponentially lately, and they got good guests on the show. So I'll give their channel a chance. I endorse Revolutionary Change. So, and they're a friend of the Willie Bragg Show. I like to brag. So there you have it. See, we have any more people here? Well, I like my coffee with a lot of cream. I mean, I go to McDonald's a lot because it's quick, and on the way to work a lot of nights. So I'll get a cup of coffee, and usually I'll get a large coffee with 10 shots of cream, 10 shots of equal. That's just the way I go about it. But then I decided to start cutting back. So and it's a little bit cheaper. I can qualify for senior coffee, so I'll get 5 shots of cream, 5 shots of equal these days. That's how I do that. So but now I'm trying to cut that out. So not totally, but within reason. Aspartame was pushed through the FDA by Donald Rumsfeld. Oh my God. Because they weren't going to approve it otherwise. Well, I would just blame Donald Rumsfeld when bad things happen to me. So, woot. Those poisons, those poisons are what keeps the body from shedding pounds. Stop putting the shit in your body. I lost weight about 4 or 5 times, and it's been some of the stuff that's actually kind of helped me. I felt like, I'll be 57 in March, and 2 or 3 times in the decade of my life, I'm either slim or wide. I mean, it's just been like that all my life. I've been slim and wide, slim and wide, slim and wide. And now I'm slimming down. So I hope to stay that way. But, salud. Yeah, salud, says Warren. I just can't drink black coffee. I just can't. I tried. It just goes against everything. Once you drink good black coffee, you won't miss the aspartame or the other body poison. Organic whipping cream is the best. No sweet and low shit. I can't deal with sweet and low. That's the other one. Oh, that's bitter. I can't deal with it. I won't touch it. I just won't. Don't put equal in your coffee. Stop it. I can't help it. Of course, I Well, I won't put it in my coffee. I'll put it in my hot tea. Rumsfeld worked for the maker of aspartame. Just be careful, my friend. Well, Rumsfeld's a good reason to avoid aspartame. I will admit that. Um, I will admit that. Chuck, Intergalactic UFO Show. What the what? And how are you doing? Happy New Year, Chuck. Hope life in outer space finds you well. Let's see, Slappy Glue Bear Willie. Yeah, hey Chuck, I'm sorry I fell asleep on Warren's podcast last week. I know you probably thinking, what a space cadet I must have been for falling asleep on that. Well, I'm sorry if that term is offensive. I don't know if that term is offensive, space cadet, but you know, if it is, I apologize. My balls drop for the New Year's. Yeah, my balls are still up on the tree there. I still got my tree up. It'll be up for a little while. I don't even know how long Epiphany lasts, but I usually take my Christmas decorations down little by little during Epiphany. So last thing I have up is the Christmas wreath. So I just take them down. I put them up in stages and take them down. But this year I was taking my time. I was just like so tired and what. But 2026 is new for me. It's a new year, and I got stuff to talk about. So let me start talking about stuff. Oh, Willie, stop it. You told us you hadn't slept that day, so I was just glad you were there in the first place. I appreciate that, but I still feel like a dick for falling asleep. I was like, I should have taken a no dose or something. I thought I could tough it out. But we do need to talk about Bridgette Bardot because when it comes to the actors and actresses that we watched and everything growing up, or people that we may watch today, I'm not the type that wants to sit there and micromanage and wonder what political stances people have on the various issues. When I watch a movie or watch, or a TV show or listen to a certain music, I kind of don't want to make it political unless they are very political. I mean, if I'm listening to the Dead Kennedys, I grew up listening to the Dead Kennedys. I grew up listening to Billy Bragg. I grew up listening to Crass. I grew up, listening to, Gang of Four. When I'm listening to stuff like that, Killing Joke, I what you see is what you get. They're going to do the preachy politics. I get it. I can respect that. But when I see or hear a shit-lived celebrity, or musician or what have you doing the virtue signaling, I just roll my eyes, because it's just really cringe, it just cringe to see somebody in show business doing this, whether they're on the left or on the right. But you see the right, and I'm talking about the normal right. I'm not talking about far right extremists, but your garden variety Republican Fox News people who will sit there and they'll be like, I wish these Hollywood liberals would just keep their opinions to themselves. Can we just watch a TV show or a movie without political, making it a political thing? But as soon as Chuck Norris or what's his name, the guy from Michigan, the rapper rocker, I cannot think of it. He dresses with the American flag. He's the white guy that does the rap. I cannot think of his name. But anyway, that guy that Fox News loves to put up or if it's Ted Nugent or someone along those lines, or the late Charlie Daniels, of course. I can respect his music, actually, Charlie Daniels. I mean, it's not my cup of tea, but I can respect the genre and all of that. But my point is this. My point is that the right wing will be like, yeah, they're owning those libs and what they have to say. You know, like, oh gosh, okay, now they're being hypocrites. But I kind of like to keep my entertainment apolitical as much as possible. And I'm a very political person, obviously. But so the thing about it is that Bridgette Bardot, who died several days ago, I think it was December 28th, she died at the age of 91, and she was controversial. Now the animal rights stuff is a little virtue signaling, probably, but she apparently she cared for the animals, and hey, I can respect that. I can respect caring for the animals. That's cool. It was some of her other political positions I find a little troubling. So let's get started with everything here. Okay. So let's see. We will get started with the NBC story. As soon as it pops up. Did it pop up? It popped up. Good. All right. NBC News. And it says Bridgette Bardot, French actor and animal rights activist, dies at 91. I'm not being politically correct or whatever. She was an actress, not an actor. Come on. Anyway, Bridgette Bardot, French actor, and really actress, and animal rights activist, dies at 91. Dubbed as a sex kitten by French intellectuals, she later devoted her life to animal rights activism and gravitated toward far-right politics. And so that's so true. By Corky Masako. Pardon me for butchering the name. Screen siren Bridgette Bardot, whose portrayal of free-spirited innuendos made her an international sex symbol and the pride of France, and who turned her back on movie stardom in 1973 to become an animal rights activist, has died, according to the French media, the Associated Press. She was 91. Bruno Jacquelin, the Bridgette Bardot Foundation for the Protection of Animals, told the Associated Press that she died at her home in southern France. He did not provide the cause of death and said no arrangements have yet been made for the funeral and memorial services. She had been hospitalized last month after a period of ill health. And there where she was when she was younger, of course. Leading tributes to French President Emmanuel Macron said Bridgette embodies a life of freedom and lived the French existence. Jordan Bardella of the far-right National Rally Party, which Bardot publicly supported in her later years, referred to her as a passionate patriot who represented an entire era of French history. Bardot's foundation paid tribute to her legacy on animal rights, from traveling the Arctic ice floes to help baby seals, to lobbying for animal welfare legislation and securing convictions for perpetrators of animal abuse. Her death comes 2 months after she underwent what her staff describes in a statement to the APF as minor surgery for an unspecified ailment in October. At the time, Bardot quickly swatted away false online reports that she had died. Oh gosh. Well, that screen, I hate it when the screen bounces. I don't know which imbecile launched this fake news regarding my disappearance, but know what, I'm fine and have no intention of bowing out, she had posted on Twitter. They're using that one letter word that I will not give Elon Musk the satisfaction of kowtowing to, even though I'm on that platform. But a month later, November 2025, Bardot was hospitalized again for what the French news outlet described as a serious health issue. Born a brunette on September 28, 1934, in Paris, Bardot became world famous after she dyed her hair blonde and starred in the 1956 movie "And God Created Woman," which was directed by her first husband, Roger Vadim. The provocative French melodrama about the voluptuous teenager who scandalized Saint Tropez was a box office smash both abroad and in the United States, despite mixed critical reviews and condemnation by watchdog groups like the National Legion of Decency. Dubbed a sex kitten by British film producer Tony Tenser, Bardot broke through as the so-called sexual revolution was underway. Women were embracing birth control, and many moviegoers were searching for racier fare. French feminist philosopher Simone de Beauvoir called her a locomotive of women's history and the most liberated woman in post-war France. In 1959, essay titled Bridgette Bardot and the Lolita Syndrome. And she was kind of attractive there, yeah. French President Charles de Gaulle declared that Bardot was a French export and important as Renault cars. Y'all remember those cars? I remember seeing Renaults on the road a lot in the 70s. Even in the 80s, I saw some occasionally on the road. You just don't see them on the road anymore. I mean, they still exist, and they're still around in France, but they just don't have that look that they used to have. They just look like any other vehicle these days. Anyway. Meanwhile, Bridgette Bardot, as the French affectionately called her, went on to appear in no more than 40 movies, including a handful of Hollywood productions before retiring from acting at the age of 39. But before she retreated to her estate in the French Riviera to lead a far more reclusive life, Bardot buried in all the pages of Playboy to mark her 40th birthday, and soon she was championing a new cause. I gave my youth and my beauty to men, Bardot later said, but I give my wisdom and my experience to animals. Okay. Bardot appealed to the Danish queen to halt the mass killings of dolphins in the Faroe Islands. Bardot became a hero to animal rights activists. And in 1985, when France awarded her the Legion of Honor medal, Bardot insisted it was for her work to save animals, not for her movies. I take this Legion of Honor for the fight in favor of animals, Bardot declared. In 1986, former actor and founder of Bridgette Bardot Foundation and harnessed her name and fame to lead campaign against, among other things, eating horse meat and the hunting of turtle doves in France. In her later years, Bardot gravitated toward far-right politics and was fined repeatedly for inciting racial hatred against Muslim immigrants to France, according to news reports. In her 1996 memoir, Bardot outraged many fans by declaring her support for far-right National Front leader Jean-Marie Le Pen. Her fourth husband, businessman Bernard de Morin, had been an advisor to Le Pen. I remember that, actually. I'll go into that in a moment. In 2018, at the height of the Me Too movement, Bardot said in an interview that most actors protesting sexual harassment in the film industry were hypocritical because many played the teases with the producers to land parts. She said that she was never a victim of sexual harassment and found it charming to be told that I was beautiful. The Nazis were occupying Paris when Bardot was growing up in the luxurious 7-bedroom apartment and dreaming of becoming a ballerina. Raised by conservative Catholic parents, Bardot chafed against her upbringing, but she was allowed to take dance classes, and in 1950 she landed at the age of 15 on the cover of Elle magazine after the editor spotted her at a train station. That led to a movie audition the next year where Bardot met Bridgette, who was 24 at the time. Despite the age difference, they fell in love, and over her parents' objection, Bardot and Bridgette married on December 21st, 1952, 3 months after her 18th birthday. There they were getting married. Charming, right? Bardot embarked on a movie career that early on included a small part in the 1953 Hollywood production Act of Love, starring Kirk Douglas. 3 years later, while shooting the Italian movie called Mio Figlio Nerone, Bardot dyed her hair blonde at the urging of the director to turbocharge her career. Bardot was a box office goal and even won critical acclaim for her turn the internationally produced movies like The Truth, 1960s, Viva Maria, 1965, but she's mostly steer clear of Hollywood, although she did play herself in the 1965 comedy Dear Bridget. Bardot did not think much of her own acting. I started out as a lousy actress and have remained one, she reported, according to The Guardian. Okay, I can appreciate people who are kind of self-deprecating at times. Bardot also recorded some 60s pop songs in the 70s. This part's interesting. Many in the collaboration with French singer Serge Gainsbourg. Let me hold this for a second. Serge Gainsbourg is a very interesting music composer, French pop star. If you're not familiar with Serge Gainsbourg, he did a 1969 song with Jane Birkin called Je t'aime. And, he died, I think he died in the 1990s he died? He was on a nightly show, and Whitney Houston was a big fan of Serge Gainsbourg, and he made a fresh comment toward her on the stage. So, on that nightly show, it was like blushing when she was in Paris, and it was just, I just felt so sorry for her. I'm not really a Whitney Houston fan, but I felt sorry for her because she was embarrassed. I mean, she was like, she was I don't know. It was awkward for her. You could just see how awkward. He was a drunkard, and he thought he could just have any, He was just kind of he sort of I don't know how to describe Serge Gainsbourg, but I like his music though. So anyway, let me finish here. One of Bardot's best-known music forays was a cover of Stevie Wonder's "You're My Sunshine of My Life." "You're the Sunshine of My Life" with French singer Sasha Distel. All right, let's see. For her own admission, Bardot's personal life was tempestuous. Her marriage to Bardot began falling apart on the set of "And God Created Woman" when she embarked on an affair with the co-star Jean-Louis Trintignant. I am so sorry. I am really muffling up a lot of French names tonight or to this morning. My apologies. was one of the many infidelities that Bardot has admitted to over the years. 2 years later, Bardot married actor Jacques Chériard, with whom she had only one child, a son named Nicolas Jacques Chériard, who was born in January 1960. Bardot, in her memoir, wrote that she was not made to be a mother. She wrote that her unborn child was like a cancerous tumor, and she had tried to remove by punching herself in the stomach. When that marriage broke up after 3 years, Sherry got custody of their son. Father and son later sued Bardot for the hurtful remarks in the memoir and was awarded $36,200 in damages. Bardot and her son, who lives in Norway, later reconciled, and she met her grandchildren and great-granddaughter. Her 3-year marriage to Sock in 1966 was also marked by multiple infidelities, but it ended up with an amicable divorce. A year with Bardot was worth 10 with anyone else, Sock reportedly said after the marriage was over. Bardot, in public statements, rarely revisited her career once it was over. In a 2007 interview, she appeared to be at a loss when asked how she came to be an icon in French cinema. I don't know, she said. I think that I arrived and I left at the right time. My wild and free side unsettled some, unwedge others. So anyway, that's pretty much it. As far as her life, pretty much. And again, we don't know. We do not know the cause of her death. Although I will say that being 91 might have a lot to do with dying. People turning 91, they usually don't live longer than that. So that's part of that right there. I want to get back to Serge Gainsbourg and Bridgette Bardot, because in 1967 they did a recording. They collaborated. It was not. I don't think it was a hit in the United States, but it was well known in France and in Europe at the time. A song called "Bonnie and Clyde," and I will play a clip. This will not affect anything as far as copyright, because I don't have the volume. So you'll get chances to see them in action. So, okay, let me make sure that volume is down so we don't get in trouble. All right. There we go. There's Bridgette Bardot, as you can see, and there's a Serge Gainsbourg, and they're dressed like Bonnie and Clyde in the video, and both of their voices are very deadpan and very French. So, in a lot of ways, you could say that it's kind of new wave and post punk before there was a thing. Yeah, I know that sounds silly, but I stand by that. It kind of has a Velvet Underground and Nico feel to it, but they're singing in French. That's basically what I'm saying. So imagine, and she says kind of sound like Nico from the Velvet Underground. So there you have it. So and that's Serge Gainsbourg, and of course that's Bridgette Bardot. And the thing about it, she's a Holocaust. She was also a Holocaust denier, and she, Serge Gainsbourg was Jewish, so go figure. So, but what I am going to do, since I can't play that because we're talking about copyright, the YouTube bastards will not allow copyright, situations. So I will play you the song, but it won't be by them. But it sounds kind of like that, so we'll play that for shits and giggles. How about that? And it's from Tis Swing. It's the name of this page. So just give it a listen, and it's the song the video you just saw, but it's a cover. Hold on.
Vous avez lu l'histoire de Jesse James? Comment il vécut? Comment il est mort? Ça vous a plu, hein? Vous en demandez encore? Eh bien, écoutez l'histoire de Bonnie et Clyde. Alors voilà, Clyde a une petite amie. Elle est belle et son prénom c'est
Bonnie.
À eux deux, ils forment le gang Barrow. Leur nom
Bonnie Parker.
est Clyde Barrow. Bonnie and Clyde. Bonnie and Clyde.
Moi, lorsque j'ai connu Clyde autrefois, c'était un gars loyal, honnête et droit.
Il faut croire que c'est la société qui m'a définitivement abîmé. Bonnie and Clyde. Bonnie and Clyde. Qu'est-ce qu'on n'a pas écrit sur elle et moi?
On prétend que nous tuons de sang-froid.
C'est pas drôle, mais on est bien obligé
De faire taire celui qui se met à gueuler.
Bonnie and Clyde. Bonnie and Clyde. Chaque fois qu'un policeman se fait buter,
Qu'un garage ou qu'une banque se fait braquer,
pour la police ça ne fait pas de mystère.
c'est signé
Clyde Barrow,
Bonnie Parker.
Bonnie and Clyde. Bonnie and Clyde. Maintenant, chaque fois qu'on essaie de se ranger,
De s'installer tranquille dans un meublé,
dans les 3 jours, voilà le tac, tac, tac.
les mitraillettes qui reviennent à l'attaque. Bonnie and Clyde.
Bonnie and Clyde. Un de ces 4, nous tomberons ensemble. Moi je m'en fous, c'est pour Bonnie que je tremble.
Quelle importance qu'il me fasse la peau. Moi, Bonnie, je tremble pour Clyde Barrow. Bonnie and Clyde. Bonnie and Clyde.
De toute façon, il ne pouvait plus s'en sortir.
La seule solution, c'était mourir.
Mais plus d'un les a suivis en enfer.
Quand sont morts Barrow et Bonnie Parker. Bonnie and Clyde. Bonnie and Clyde.
Okay, there you go. That was their version of Bonnie and Clyde. So anyway, I just I figure that you should like that, and so I will let's see what else I was going to show. I'll show you a scene from one of my favorite movies that she was in. Again, the volume will be muted, so the volume will be muted, so not to have a copyright situation. But it's a short scene. She does a cameo appearance in a 1966 film called Masculine Feminine, which was directed by Jean-Luc Godard, which is one of my favorite films, actually. And starring Chantel Goya. And I'll tell you a story about that film in a moment. I'll play you the clip. Again, playing you the clip, but I'm not playing the actual dialogue because copyright. So, even though we don't know what if you understand French, you know what they're saying. So it's muted. So here we go. This is the scene. That's Chantel Goya. She's the reason I bought the movie, the DVD. She was on the cover. And there's Bridgette Bardot. I will say this. The movie basically takes place in Paris in the 1960s. And you had just people in the coffee shops talking about Coca-Cola, Vietnam War, Bob Dylan, and Karl Marx. I was like, I love this movie. So, I remember I was watching that over and over, and you got the little subtitles underneath and all. So, and Chantel Goya, again, she's the star of the movie, the dark haired lady you just saw. She was a pop singer back in the 60s, but she also she became like did like children's music in the 70s and 80s and all that. But she's still alive. But she was like kind of like a popular singer in the 60s. So she did that movie. This was her movie here. So there you have it. So I'll go ahead and I don't think I'll get in trouble for that. I hope I will not get in trouble for that. So I shouldn't get in trouble for that. So anyway, that's pretty much it. And I will say this. I was on Facebook the other day. I posted it, Bridgette Bardot. Somebody who's a friend of mine, she posted on Bridgette Bardot. Did not know about the controversial aspect about Bridgette Bardot. And then she apologized and everything because then she found out about Bridgette Bardot's troubles past, her far right politics and everything. She felt embarrassed, and I told her in a comment section, "Don't feel embarrassed. You didn't know. You didn't know." And even if she had this horrible point of view, just is. Yeah, it's unfortunate, but there's really nothing you can do about it. And you like what you like. It doesn't mean that you endorse their politics. It bothers the hell out of me. Like, for example, there's a musical group out there called Deaf and June. I like the way they sound. I hate their politics. It bothers me. It bothers me that they have the politics that they have, or it's the gimmick that they have when they dress up the way they dress up on stage in their fascistic clothing and their fascistic themes that sometimes you hear in their music. It's horrible, but it sounds like Joy Division, some of their early stuff. And some of their really experimental stuff sounds really, I like some of the experimental music that they did. I just hate their politics. And it's a fact of life. So, so she shouldn't feel bad. Yeah, I mean, just because they have politics you don't agree with, that's not going to make you embrace them, because I will not. So, I just realized that, and just don't let it bother you, because that's what I have to say about it. So anyway, I work graveyard shift and I'm rambling on. So I will go and talk to everybody here on the chat line, just in case I missed out on everyone, because y'all been hearing me rant on for well over an hour out at this point. So let's see right here. We'll start at the 11:36 a.m. Mark and go backwards. Kamashari Kate says, CBC voter, I am going anywhere. I'm not going anywhere close to the polar bear swim this year. I went the first time last year and crushed people, and the crush of people was insane. Let's see, and CBC voter says, right. Oh, okay. I gotcha. All right. Maybe I should start where I left off in the beginning. And that way, with the conversation, see where the conversation goes. All right. Okay. I guess we'll start over here. I thought Bridgette Bardot died years ago. It's funny you mentioned that, Warren, because John Aston, who plays Gomez Addams from the Addams Family, he just turned, I believe, 95 years old. And what's interesting about him is he's one of those actors that you just figure he was dead, but he's still alive. And then there are people out there that you think they're still alive, they're dead. So it's just kind of how it works. Let's see what we got here. All right. Let's see. I'm looking through here. See if I don't want to forget anybody, or looking through here. This. Okay. All right. Well, I was just checking if we've forgotten anybody, but it looks like we got the same old group here, which I do love. So, what else I was going to say? Well, it's the year 2026, and we're going to have guests on the Willie Bragg Show. I am planning to have Andy Moon and Dwight Welch together, possibly. We just got to see the schedule is going to work out, because she's working on another book. He's working on a book. And I figure it would be a good idea to have them both on the show doing a year review. If not, then I will have to do, interview them separately, which I'm always okay with. And so we're doing that. That's in the making. Warren, I know your birthday's coming up. I would love to have you on the show, and I'd love to have you and Lainey on the show as the undercurrent. So let's talk soon. Jamar Jabari said he wants to come back, so we're working on that right now. And there are other guests that are going to be back. We're going to start having guests back on the Willie Bragg Show. So y'all got that to look forward to. So this year. and I'm going to be taking a nap very, very, very soon. So if you like what you heard, please press like and comment. Oh, yes. I will live stream tomorrow night, tomorrow afternoon, probably 6 or 7. Trying to decide what time. I got it scheduled 7. And so anyway, if you like what you heard, please press like and comment. Comment anyway if you disagree with what I have to say. Feel free to share any content I have on this platform. As a First Amendment absolutist, it's my duty to inform you to create your own platform and utilize it because we are, in fact, the muckrakers of our time. Also, remember to always reject corporate media because they have nothing to offer us. I've been saying this for years. Nothing's changed. And subscribe to the Willie Bragg Show. We just reached over 1,000. Yay! We reached over 1,000. But we need to keep that momentum going. We need to keep the numbers rising because well, just because it's a nice number, and I like to see that number get bigger. Obviously, also, I want to thank you all for helping me out all these years. I'm in February 17th, next month, about a month and a half. February 17th, I would have been doing this for 6 years. So I appreciate your support all this time, and had a lot of names on the chat line over the years, and names have come and gone, but this crew here, y'all been good to me, and I appreciate your support, and y'all keep me motivated. So thank you for what you do, all of y'all. Free and pardon Ed Snowden and all political prisoners, as far as I'm concerned. Free health care for all. We should be a normal country, have free health care. Free Palestine. And of course, keep our First Amendment strong and in usage, which means keep our freedom of speech free. Protect our right to free speech. Until next time, everyone. And because her politics was so horrible, I know that I'm negative, but fuck Bridgette Bardot. Y'all take care. I will see y'all next time. Bye-bye.